Good morning, my YouTube family. It is your boy Zeri, and we are back to do the uncommon artifact for Noob Guide. And I'm gonna make some adjustments. If it's just straight trash, I'm just gonna say trash, and we're gonna move on to try to keep these videos to 15-20 minutes. You know, half hours, just long. And I'm getting a lot of questions if I could post my worth it ones, etc. And once this series is complete, join me in my Discord. There will be a artifact channel where I'm going to have spreadsheets of every artifact I cover, and it'll go over, you know, and then you can see if it's trash or worth it with the characters. But until then, once they're all done and out, that they'll be there. So let's get into that. But if you're just finding me for the first time and you're liking what you're seeing, click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, all of that good stuff that goes along with it. For all my new family members out there, welcome to the family. And for all my XMG family members out there, you know I love you. So let's get into uncommon artifacts for noobs. So here we go, first one, Flute of Truth, uncommon 2-star, damage and tenacity. Damage is a flat rate, high of 120. Dealing damage to 2 enemies, has a 10% chance to apply burning for 1 turn, 20% chance for Amara, 5 times per battle. Now this is also a common one. This is just the next step up, and just like the common one, this is trash. Don't want this one. The flat stated damage is just terrible. Tenacity, meh. And then a 20% chance 5 times per battle. There's better ones you can even put on Amara out there, but that is that one. Next one up, Mirror of Miss. Cruel, uncommon, 2-star to start. Critical chance 4 and lifesteal of 6. Attacks out of invisibility restore a 1% maximum shield and a 2% for cruel once per turn. So again, Mirror of Miss getting kind of an overhaul from the common to the common category. This one, worth it. This is an excellent artifact. 4 on critical chance, 6 on lifesteal. Some early recommendations on this one would be Kyra. You're going to get Kyra, you're going to start farming her out of the guild store right at level 20. She turns invisible, turns your whole team invisible. So anybody you're really going to pair with Kyra in the early game, this would be beneficial from, but especially Kyra, because she already does more damage out of invisibility. For mid-game, it's got to be Cruel, honestly. I mean, I know it's made for her, but just putting this one on Cruel herself for the mid-game would be great. Then endgame, I'm looking at Wonderlua. You're going to put Wonderlua in there. She goes invisible. She's already a massive damage dealer, putting crit chance and lifesteal with the chance to restore her maximum shield by 1%. Definitely made for Wonderlua. Next one up is Emperor's Crown, another recycled from common to uncommon. Darien, where you get accuracy and a flat stat of shield at the start of the battle. Increase health by 1%. Trash. Now, the flat stat of health by 1% can be beneficial. This is kind of like a higher end trash one. If you had to pick out of one of the trash ones, this would be a good one just because you automatically get that 1% health. But the stats of accuracy and shield on this just make it absolutely trash. First new one on the list, Bracelet of Differences. Uncommon, it's a 1-star, you get crit damage and tenacity. Suffering a critical hit increases crit chance by 0.4%, 0.8% for Diesel Rog twice per battle. Again, there we go. Trash. The crit damage is nice, but tenacity is just a moss stat, and then you gotta get hit for this to proc, and it's only twice per battle, and then when it does, it's 0.4% critical chance. Not worth your time or investment. Definitely trash artifact. Next one up on the list is the Mask of the Golden Mane. Air Shield Breaker. Starts at a 3-star. Damage of a flat stat, high of 180, tenacity 9. Landing a critical hit increases crit damage by 1.2%, 2.4% for Air Shield Breaker, 3 times per battle. This one here, trash. Now it's a very high-end trash because of Garrett coming to the game. You get a critical chance increase when he's paired with him on a certain move. So I'm going to give some recommendations for this one just because it can be used, because the critical damage by 1.2% isn't bad. The flat stat of damage and tenacity is really what brings it down to trash. But if you're looking for that early game, you're going to put it on Mar. You're going to stack them with critical chance, so that critical damage would be good. Mid game, you're looking for like a Soleus. End game, you're looking at kind of an Instructor Gore Ram, where you're stacking so much critical chance on him that when he lands that critical hit, it's going to increase his critical damage. But just a trash because of the proc itself is good, but the stats of a flat damage and then tenacity make it trash. Next one up, Powder of Evolution, Failure 2-star, damage 4%, lifesteal 6. Receiving damage has a 20% chance to gain regeneration for 1 turn. 40% for failure, can happen 2 times max. This one here, worth it. The reason it's worth it is because you're getting a 4% damage increase, 6 to your lifesteal. And then the regeneration, the proc itself isn't the best in the world, but putting regeneration on yourself when you take a hit, not bad. I mean, there's a lot of squishy characters out there. For the early game, you are looking at Fow. Fow would be really good for this because she is extremely squishy. She's your good damage dealers on the order side in the early game. And, you know, the lifesteal would be great for her. Mid game, you could use it on somebody like a Slinger. Lifesteal, damage, they're going to try to get him out of there early. So that could really help. And then for the end game, you're really looking for anyone on your Pride team. Anyone you put with Renara, this would be fantastic for, because the more regeneration stacks you have on her plays into her or on anybody from your Pride play into your passive ability. So overall, just because of the damage and the lifesteal, 4% damage, that's like a rune itself, makes it worth it. Next one up, we just talked about Foul. We got another new one here, Page's Bag. 2-star, damage is a flat 120, health is 6, dodging an attack increases penetration by 60, 120 for foul, once per battle. This one here, trash. Now, if you are going to use it, just some quick suggestions. For the early game, this would be pretty solid. If you're not going to use it for foul, you could put it on Kinley because of the health bump. Kinley restores his own health at the start of his turn based off his max health, so giving himself 6% more health, plus he also gets a dodge increase with his taunt. Mid-game, you're looking at someone like Hera. Hera has that dodge mechanic into her kit, kind of squishier. Damage, I guess, could help. 120 is really not going to do too much. Then, for endgame, you're looking, I would recommend like a Count Delman, you know, something like that. Count Delman does get the dodge. He's very tanky as it is, so more health would be beneficial, but I would put it on somebody like a Count Delman, but I really wouldn't put anything into this one. Trash artifact. Next one up, Lucky Clover. General Murdoch. Potency 6, lifesteal 6. Damaging one enemy has a 10% chance to increase critical chance by 2.5%. 20% for General Murdoch, 3 times per battle. The Lucky Clover is definitely worth it. 6% to your potency, lifesteal, damaging only one enemy, makes it easy to proc. Critical chance by 2.5%, even though it's 3 times per battle, is still fantastic. 20% for General Murdoch. It's definitely good for General Murdoch. He needs that potency, so this one really screams General Murdoch. But if you don't have General Murdoch and you're looking for somebody else to put it on, some suggestions could be early game, and I say it a lot, but you're using Mar quite a bit, and Mar doesn't really need the potency, but the extra crit chance on him to reset the cooldown on his AoE is fantastic. Mid game, got a couple different choices here. For mid game, you could put it on somebody like a Freezard. You know, you can get it to proc with his AoEs. That would be great. And he puts slow on his basic. You got somebody like Slinger who can dispel, and he needs that potency tenacity check. And then end game, any goblin whatsoever. This could go on any single goblin. like a major shot, this would be fantastic for. Bring in the assist train, get those debuffs up, but endgame you're really looking at General Murdoch. Next one up is for Kinley, the Shabby Bayi statuette, and we kind of went over this in the common, but it receives some tweaks. Crit damage 12, armor 12%. Dodging an attack can apply regeneration for 1 turn, 2 turns for Kinley with a 30% chance once per battle. This one here, average. And it's average, the armor increase is good, the crit damage increase pretty decent, but the caveat, once per battle for regeneration for 1 turn, really just brings it down to an average artifact for me. For the early game, you're looking for people who can dodge, so you're going to see a Fow, a Kiri, Hera, things like that. Early game is really who you're looking for there. Mid game, this would be an excellent artifact for Tromgar, because Tromgar is going to be attacked a lot. He's going to have a chance to dodge something. He puts on regeneration himself, but that armor increase on the Tromgar would really make it tanky. And then for the endgame, I'm looking at really one character from the Pride to really make this work, and that would be Salvador. Now the crit damage, meh, but the armor on Salvador, who's already extremely tanky, he's going to be dodging with the synergy from Hera. Just a really good artifact for Salvador, but overall, this is just an average artifact. Next one up, Necklace of Natural Strength. It's for Corcoran, 1 star, accuracy 3%, lifesteal 4.5, damaging 2 or more enemies, restores 2% of shield 4 for Corcoran once per battle. Trash. This one's a trashed artifact. It's only once per battle. If it wasn't once per battle, it could be an average viable one. Even though accuracy stinks, lifesteal's okay. All in all, this is just, don't put anything into it. Once per battle, there's better common ones out there than this one. Next one up, Medal of Loner. Major shot, starts at a 1 star, damage 90, shield 1200. Both flat stats. When max health drops below 50%, with a 10% chance to receive cheat death for 1 turn, 2 turns for major shot, once per battle. The caveat's not bad. Just getting cheat death once per turn when you drop below 50% health, that's not bad. Overall, trash. Flat stats of 90 and 1200 for shield and damage. Just look for those percent stats. Better ones you can definitely level up. If you had to use it so far out of all the trash ones I recommended, at least the cheat death, 10% chance. There's better ones out there. Next one up, Bell of Reaction Master Duo, starts at a 1 star. Damage 90 flat stat, health 1200 flat stat. Receiving damage from a boss has a 5% chance, 10% for Master Duo, to gain haste for 1 turn, 2 turns for Master Duo once per battle. Trash. Flat stat all the way across, once per battle, 5% chance, and then 10 for Master Duo. I'd rather have Master Duo's common artifact for sure. Just, I don't like this one at all. Next one up, Cursed Doll, Mortha, 2 star, critical damage by 8, armor by 8%. At the start of the battle, increases maximum health by 2%, 6% for Mortha. This one here, worth it. This is a very good one. Armor increase by 8. Start of the battle, you're guaranteed to increase your max health for 2 turns. Awesome. Early game, you're looking at somebody like Mortha, because, I mean, this would be really good for Mortha in the early game, trying to increase her survivability with the armor and then the max health. Then, you know, you could look at Kinley. His basic, if they have full health, is guaranteed a critical hit, so increasing the critical damage would be great. Armor increase, awesome, and then his max health bump would be really good. For mid-game, you're looking at somebody like Snorri, Reval, increasing their crit damage, their armor, their survivability, really good. Endgame, this one kind of shouts out to somebody like an Adam. This would be really good for Adam under a General Murdoch lead. You want him to crit chance, because then it brings in the assist train, so more crit damage would be great. More armor increases his survivability, and then overall health on a defender is fantastic. Next one up, Gold Comb, 1 star, accuracy 3, armor 6. Landing a critical hit is a 10% chance, 20% for Nightingale, to apply armor decrease for 1 turn to an enemy 3 times per battle, once per turn. A lot going on in this, just a lot. Accuracy's bad, armor okay. Landing a critical hit, 10% chance, that isn't bad, but then 3 times per battle, once per turn, so it kind of negates the AoE damage dealers. I mean, you could put it on there because it would proc more, but overall, this one's trash. And if you're looking, because it could be used, I guess, you know, early game, you're looking at somebody like a Sharp, gives himself the critical chance increase, that would be kind of good. And, you know, so he has that higher chance of landing a critical hit. Mid-game, again, you're looking at somebody like a Slinger, because you're going to stack that critical chance on him. And end-game, you're looking at somebody possibly like a Thelaine, but there's way better options out there. Next one up, Lens of Productivity. Old Lore, 3-star, crit chance 6, health 9%. Attacking a dazed enemy has 15% chance to apply stun for 1 turn, 30% chance for Old Lore 3 times a battle. This artifact screams a different goblin, and I'll get there in a minute. But overall, this one here, worth it. Very good for the stats alone. Crit chance plus 6, health plus 9%. Fantastic. So what you're looking at early game here, anybody like a Sharp, a Kyra, you know, anybody you're going to stack the critical chance on, who's kind of squishier, would be really, really good. And, you know, especially Kyra has that daze she can put on, so that would be extremely good. Mid-game, you're looking for somebody like a Puncher Face, you know, because Puncher Face, he puts on the taunt, he's going to be a good mid-game demon for you to start working on. So, and he pairs with Kyra, so that one would be pretty decent. And then who it screams, really, this artifact screams Dr. Frank. Critical chance to bring in the assists, health to keep him alive. He puts on daze, he can stun them, he'll be coming in on the assists, so that just screams Dr. Frank. This one overall, just because of the stats alone, is definitely worth it. Next one up, Gem of Riches, Patriarchy, 2-star, damage flat of 120, health is 6%. Applying a buff to an ally has a 50% chance to restore 2% maximum health, 4% to Patriarchy. This one here, average. Definitely, if you upped it, again, I wouldn't knock you for it. The reason it's not worth it is because that's flat stat of damage, but there is no cap to how often this can happen. It's just a 50% chance. So, yeah, I mean, this one, high-end average for sure. If that damage was 8%, this would be worth it all day. But some characters you could look at here are Kyra for sure, Foul, Sharp. Those characters early game that put on those buffs definitely will help out a lot there. Mid game, any defender you're using mid game, this could go on and be super beneficial. The health percent, then the buffs they're going to put on, you know, that would be big. So any sort of defender, you know, Hera would also be good mid game. And then end game, this would be a really good one for buff. You're not really attacking with him. Increases max health. He's going to be applying buffs left and right, so buff would be a very good one end game. Next up, Lost Key for Revol, 2-star, damage flat lifesteal, dealing damage to 2 or more enemies, increases damage by 0.6%, Revol 1.2%, 3 times a battle. This one here, trash, just trash. You know, the flat stat of damage, the 0.6% damage increase, you're not really going to even notice it. 3 times per battle, skip it, move on. Next one up, Beiyi's Clock, 1-star, critical chance 3, health 4.5, dealing damage to 5 or more enemies per turn, increases critical chance by 0.4% twice per battle. This one here, average. for the stats alone, it becomes average. Now, early game, this wouldn't be bad for like a Kagi or an AoE damage dealer that you have foul, because they got a chance to deal damage to 5 or more enemies to try to get that caveat. Mid-game, demons. This would be good for your demon team. You know, you have Puncherface in there, you have Slinger in there, you have Kyra in there. So you're definitely dealing some damage on your demon team. So with some AoEs, so that would help there. And then your goblin team for endgame, you're looking at Major Shot. There you have Murdoch. If you're using Amara. So definitely could be used for goblin mid-game, especially with that crit chance increase. And goblins are squishy, so health is definitely beneficial. Overall, average. The description on it really isn't the best, but it could help. So, average. Next one up is Cup of Cheer. It is made for sharp, starts at a 3-star. Damage, 180. Shield, 2400 flat. Critical hits, restore shield equal to 3% of the damage dealt. 6 for sharp. Can happen 5 times per battle. This one here, average. Now, the reason I say average is normally I hate flat stats, and I do. I hate flat stats. But the restoring 3% of the damage dealt to your shield 5 times per battle isn't bad at all. 2400 on a shield is okay. The damage sucks, but it's a lower end average. You know, for mid or for early game, definitely sharp. This would be really good for sharp. Mar, you know. Mid game, this would be a really good one for pandas. Because if you're using a Patriarchy lead mid game, this could really benefit the pandas overall. Because under his lead, you can heal yourself off the amount of shield restored, so that would play into that. So, pandas there. Endgame, you know, this would be a good one for Adam under the General Murdoch lead. This would be really good for Kiri. So, definitely has its possibilities, but just a lower average on the Cup of Cheer. Next one up, Dragon Seeker, Snorri, 2-star, critical chance by 4, shield by 1600. Killing an enemy has a 20% chance to gain a damage increase for 2 turns, 40% for Snorri, once per battle. This one here, average. Very, very low average. Right above trash. The only reason it is because of the critical chance at 4% can really benefit a lot of players. The shield flat stat isn't the best, but it's not terrible. So very low average, very high trash rune for the Dragon Seeker. And you want to put this on damage dealers. You know, early game, sharp. Mid game, you're looking at Snorri, Reval, Mythical. Anybody who has a really good shot of just taking out that character. And the end game, you're looking at somebody like an Ember who can do some massive damage. You know, higher end Freezard, really runed out Wonderlua, Thalane. You know, somebody like that who can really pump out some crazy damage is really who you want it on. Next one up, Sun Amulet for Soleus, starts at 1-star, damage 90, health 4.5%. Getting a debuff has a 3% chance to get debuff immunity for 2 turns once per battle. Trash. Unless early game you get this, you don't want to get rid of it. Put it on a defender. They're going to get the biggest chance to get a debuff. The health will help them. Damage really doesn't matter. So this could be used early mid-game for defenders, but that's about it. Don't like this one at all. Next one up, Steel Leaf, uncommon 3-star, crit chance 6%, shield 24. At the end of the turn, restore 1.5% of shield, 3% for Thalane, only if the owner has an active invisibility buff. This one here, worth it, especially for your elves, but we'll get into that. The reason I'm saying it's worth it, 6% crit chance, 2400 to shield, kind of bad but not terrible. And then restoring 1.5% of your shield if you're under invisibility is extremely solid. So Obviously, we're going to be looking for people under invisibility, so early game here, we're looking for Kyra. Anybody you pair with Kyra, really good. That would benefit them greatly. Mid-game, you're looking at Cruel, especially when you pair her with those 3 mages. That would be awesome, or one of those 3 mages you pair with Cruel. Cruel would be big, or one of the mages you pair with her mid-game. That would help out a lot. They're constantly under that invisibility. Restoring your shield, increasing their survivability would be fantastic there. Then, for endgame, really 3 factions stick out. You have the demon faction, because you have Kyra in there, right? Then you have your elf faction, because you have Wonderlua, Thelaine, and then endgame Pride. Hera is going to be passing around that invisibility buff. So those are the 3 for the endgame. This one here, really good with invisibility teams and could definitely be used a lot. Definitely worth the investment. In my opinion, this one's worth it. Next one up, Tromgar. Furious Flame Totem. Starts at a 3-star. Damage, 6%. Armor, 12%. Receiving a debuff has a 50% chance to increase potency by 1.2%. 2.4% for Tromgar twice per battle. Now, the Furious Flame Totem, if I remember right from the common, was trash. This one, worth it. Damage increased by 6%, armor by 12%. Now, the caveat for it, the proc, isn't really the best, but 50% chance, twice per battle, 1.2% extra potency, sure, why not? But the Furious Flame Totem, definitely worth it to me for the stats alone. Some characters you could definitely put this on. Early game is just one of your damage dealers. It's pretty simple. Anybody who could apply a debuff early in the game, or if you don't even care about the debuff, just to get that extra damage, definitely worth it there. I mean, it starts at a 1.2% damage increase. That's more than some of these uncommon procs. Mid-game, you're looking at Snorri, Freezard, Reval, Kyra. In the mid-game, that would be good. And endgame, really any team you're going to be facing buff, that would be good. Mor'Doom, this would be really good on, because if you're going for that mirror match, buff himself, you could be looking at Kiri. Just had a lot of possibilities with this one, and it could really, just for the stats alone, could be used on pretty much any damage dealer, any defender. Just a really good one overall. The next one up, Caustic Broth. Venomate starts at 3, damage 6%, 9 health, or health percent 9. Damage, dealing damage to a single enemy has a 15% chance to give invisibility for 1 turn. 30% for Venomate, can happen once per battle. The Caustic Broth, worth it. For the stats alone, 6% to damage, 9% to health. You want to put this on a squishy damage dealer. Early game, Kagi, Sharp, Foul. Mid game, again, damage dealers who are squishy. Slinger, Puncherface, Kyra. She does more damage out of invisibility. Yeah, and then in game again, squishy damage dealers. Squishy damage dealers. But, I mean, you could also put this onto Buff himself. So, yeah, just squishier damage dealers. That's who you're looking for there, but it's worth it for the stats alone. Last one, Brawl Symbol, 0. Crit chance by 3, shield by 1200. Landing a critical hit restores 1% max health, 2 for 0 once per. This one here, average. Critical chance plus 3 could be used for a lot of different people. Shield, okay. Landing a critical hit restores the maximum health, so you want that on early game, your squishy damage dealers, Mar, Kagi, Venomate even. Mid game, I would put this on like an AoE damage dealer, like Freezard, really, really good. Reval, really, really good. Snorri. And then end game, this one here could be used. Screams Goblins, critical chance, restoring health. Obviously, 0. You could put it on Kiri, would be good. So, end game there, you got a little bit of more choices. But, you know, early, mid game, you're just looking for your squishiest damage dealer, to be completely honest with you. and put it on. But overall, average. So my YouTube family, there it is. There is your uncommon artifact breakdown. Let me know how you like this. I tried to, instead of putting up the characters on the side, I just talked about them and mentioned them. Now, if you guys want to see those characters put back up on the side up there, I'll put it back up there. Definitely saved me a lot of time in making it. You know, instead of an hour and a half, it only took me about 45 minutes, and hopefully I can get this down to 25 minutes. Now, going forward, rares and epics definitely have less in there. But overall, let me know what you think. And again, if you're just finding me for the first time and you're liking what you're seeing, click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, all of the things that go along with it. Definitely turn on notifications so you don't miss the epic and rare artifact lists. Got Garrett for Noobs coming out this weekend, and I am going to start researching the epics and breaking those down. So again, XMG family members out there, you know I love you. Welcome to the new people, to the family. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.